Hello, my friends. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Today I'm in Luminar Neo, and I'm going to be talking about my favorite, all-time favorite, most favorite. I love this stuff. I'll be talking about luminosity masking. And the reason I want to talk about it is because I was editing a photo and I was adjusting some colors using luminosity mask. And it just made me realize that this isn't something I share a lot, but it's incredibly vitally important, I think, for controlling color really well, because you often don't want all the colors to get impacted across the entire image, right? You probably want to control them and be fairly precise about it. I know I do. I imagine you do as well. Well, luminosity mask is the absolute best for that. Just adore these things. I use them in Luminar all the time. We're going to be using this photo now. I've already made a few edits, as you can see here. I used Develop Raw, Super Contrast, and Light Depth, and that allowed me to go from that raw file, and that's my current state after those three tools. And this kind of follows my typical workflow. If you look over here on the right-hand side for what I call my favorites category, I did a video about that recently. I start with Develop, it's Develop Raw because it's a raw file, and then Super Contrast, and then Light Depth. Now in this video, I'm going to skip over Structure, and I'm going to go straight into Color Harmony. That's the first color tool. It's my favorite color tool. It's honestly the best color tool in Luminar, but it gives you so much control, and it's so much fun, and using it with the luminosity mask is just absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to start by lifting the brilliance and warmth a little bit, and I'm going to bump up split color warmth and slightly pull down the cool. And then in shadows, in color balance, I'm going to do a slight bit of blue. In the midtones, I'm going to do some red, and in the highlights, I'm going to do some red as well. Now, I'm not looking at my notes, so I don't exactly know what numbers I use, but if you look at the before and after, it's a sunset, and it was frankly a gorgeous sunset. I stood here for probably an hour taking photos, missing dinner because I was so excited about this sunset. But if you look at the before again, there's already some pretty amazing color in all these houses or these shops. And this is in a place called Nyhaven, which I completely pronounced incorrectly, but it's in Copenhagen, Denmark. It's absolutely gorgeous. But the houses, this architecture, if you will, has beautiful colors before and after. Well, now the colors are getting a bit too rich everywhere, and what I really want to do is bump up the sunset. So you could try things like a sky mask. I don't really use them. I've talked about that before. And then you could brush it into the water, but it's really better to use a luminosity mask. That's what we're going to do in this video, and I'm going to use a couple or maybe a few of them. If you look at the photo, the sky and the water, the reflection of the sunset are the key areas I want to target. Those are brighter parts of the photo. That's more highlights, right? So this bar here represents the values of light in an image. As I start to drag this, the mask automatically is activated, right? So before I touch it, once I click it, before I start dragging the mask, it covers the entire area. But as I start to drag it, I'm dragging it away from the shadows, because the shadows is the left-hand side. So you can see the mask is disappearing from the shadowed parts of the image, and now it's more so in the highlight areas. Now, the middle of this is the midtones, and the right-hand side is the highlights. So I can drag this, and it starts coming away from the highlights as well. Then, if I want, I can move this bar around and kind of move it anywhere I want. This is not a full tutorial on how to use luminosity mask. I do have those, but I wanted to give you a quick example of what it's all about, because I'm going to be using these pretty extensively in this video. The other thing, and this is probably the most important part of a luminosity mask, are these two little triangles. So pay attention here if you don't know this trick. This allows you to grab that triangle and separate it. And what it does is it feathers the edge. Now I'm going to the left, so I'm taking it from this left edge, which is shadows. So you're not seeing any change here yet, but you will see a change down here in the water, maybe along that boat, where I'm starting to feather or fade and just kind of transition the mask from a hard edge like that to a soft kind of gradual fade into the photo. Very, very important, because that is how you blend your mask into the rest of the photo, which means the adjustments that you make aren't like a light switch transition. They're not abrupt. They gently fade, and that's how you maintain that control. And also it makes it less obvious to your viewer. Now, I want to do the same thing in the highlights. Now, the highlights are here, very prominent in the sky. You can see this is a very hard edge mask where the pink or red is going to get 100% of the edit. The white, where there's no mask, will get 0. Well, that's a hard edge, going from 100% to 0%. But moving this triangle is what starts to create that fade. And as I gently move this, you will see those edges start to transition. And now that area here that was all white has a little bit of pink. It's less pink than up here. So the full pink or full red is only within this bar. And then these other areas to the left of the full bar, but before you get to the line with the triangle, that's a faded gradual dissipation of the effect, regardless of whether I'm going left towards shadows or right towards highlights. I'm going to go a little bit more toward the highlights and maybe pull this down a little bit. And that's incredibly important because that controls the intensity of the mask in these areas. So having done all that, I'm going to back up to adjustments. And if you look at my application of the color now, before and after, much more subtle. And if you look at the buildings, especially on the right-hand side, before, after, they still get a little bit of color, but they don't get that crazy pop of color, which means it's not going to be an over-the-top, what I like to call clown vomit kind of look when you have way too many colors and they're all saturated. Because if you look at it, there's orange, there's yellow, there's another shade of orangey red, there's blue with some red orange in it, there's more orange, there's a different blue. So many colors, and if you just drag the saturation slider, it's going to go over the top crazy fast. Not to mention, you got the same thing over here. You got a lot of competing colors in the sky. You've even got a lot of colors on the boats. It's a very colorful scene, which is why I wanted to use Luminosity mask to control the color, because it will allow me to be specific and targeted. Now, I just did all that, and I want to jump into landscape, and I'm going to go into golden hour, and I'm going to put that at 45. And you know, that doesn't look so bad. It looks pretty intense, but it's a little bit too intense. So again, what I want to do here is not get too much up in these clouds. So if you look at the before, those clouds already have some nice orangey pink. I want a little bit there. But if you look in that center section here that we avoided mostly with the last mask, right? That's what it looked like before. I want to get more of the effect there. So this luminosity mask will be more in the highlights and fading into the midtones and pretty much avoiding the shadows. Again, it's about control. So away from the shadows, don't want it. I want to keep it in the highlights, but I want to fade it. So I'm going to do something like that and fade it like that. And then I want to shrink this area where I'm getting this, again, this center bar area or bar graph is the 100% effect. So I want to fade that a little bit so that I get close to 100% in those highlight areas right there, but not fully 100%. And that's what this fade is for. So it's probably going to be something about like that and maybe a little bit longer fade into the rest of the midtones. But again, slightly different mask. Otherwise, if I wanted to use the same mask, you can copy and paste these. But that now has given me more of that orange warmth in that center section of the photo where the reflection and the sky are being reflected above that building at the end of this kind of view. So that's before and that's after. And then, of course, what I usually do is I drag the slider fairly far. In this case, I went to 45. I make the mask, but now I can ratchet that back, and 40 might be a little bit better number. But again, if you look at the before and the after, before and after, I've got a nice bit of warmth here in the really bright highlight areas, but not complete warmth because I didn't cover that 100% with the mask. I faded it there, but it also fades into these clouds, which already had some color, and I effectively avoided the buildings because they already have some fair amount of warmth on them. So again, one more time, before and after. Now, one other thing I really want to do here is use Accent AI, and I'm going to go pretty high again. I'm going to do like a 50 or so here, so if I can get to 50, and then I'm going to do like a 20 or so on Sky Enhancer. So if you look at the before and after, and again, we have not applied a mask, so this is covering the whole photo, before and after. I like Accent AI. I always use it, and I pretty much always tell you to use it with the mask. I'm going to use a luminosity mask again, but I've also got Sky Enhancer here because I love what it does in the sky. If you look at the before and the after, if you look just at the sky, it's really cranking up that blue and creating that color tension that I like. The warm and the cool colors playing off of each other. It plays that up quite a bit before and after, but it's too much again. So I want to do a similar thing, and I don't really want to go too much into the shadows. If you look at the shadows, so that would be like the reflection of this boat here in the bottom left corner, some of the very bottom frame, of the frame, and some of the shadow over here under these boats. If you look at before, quite a bit darker, Accent AI, quite a bit brighter. It brightens them up. That's what it does. So I want to be careful with this next luminosity mask to make sure I'm controlling it to not really go into those areas. So mostly, I think I'm going to start with midtones, and I need to experiment here a little bit. you will notice right now I've got no fade, and that's on purpose because I'm pointing something out. And what I'm pointing out is the area that I liked was right up here where it gives some of that color tension, where it's creating that darker, richer blue against the warmth in the clouds. I need to start fading this and see what I'm getting. All right, I'm getting a little bit in the area over here. I think I need to go this way a little bit. Yeah, I'm dragging this square to the right and it's picking up more of that area. And then I'm going to drag this to fade it so that I get a nice transition. I'm also going to shrink this zone because I want to be really careful about how much I'm putting into that area. And this is all experimentation, my friends. You build the mask initially, which is what I did, but then you start for me, here's what I do. I collapse this center section to make sure that, again, that's the section that's getting 100% of this adjustment. So I want to be sure that if I'm doing something like Accent AI, I want it to be a fairly compact or concentrated area that's getting 100%, and then I want the rest to fade. But also, once I do that, I start moving this around to see where in the photo it's going to apply. And I think where I had it was something about like this. I think that looks pretty good. So I do those two things, and then I also like to drag these little triangles to give me a little bit more fade into other parts of the photo without going too far and without overdoing it. And one thing I talked about with Accent AI was really brightening those shadows. You will note the shadows that I pointed out here below this boat and below that boat not being impacted by the mask. So I think we're in good shape. I'm going to go back to adjustments to see how it looks. And it looks pretty good, my friends. It looks pretty good. Before and after, I'm getting some of that nice contrast in the sky. 50 is probably a little too much, so I'm going to pull that back to about 35. And that 20 on the sky enhancer, I'm going to take down to about a 15. But if you look at the before and the after, I'm getting a nice little bump in intensity across some of the sky and some of the highlight areas that I also added color to. Accent AI and this mask is hitting that, but also Sky Enhancer, it's hitting the sky, of course, but I'm controlling it with that Luminosity mask before and after. And using Luminosity mask for those tools, Color Harmony, which is multiple tools, and then Golden Hour, and then also that Accent AI and Sky Enhancer gives me a lot of control. And that's how I'm able to take a photo, started like that, and is now giving me this kind of look, which I think is nicely balanced on the light because of what I did in Develop Raw, and then Super Contrast, and then Light Depth. And that's giving me great control over the light. And then what I did in Color Harmony and Golden Hour and Accent AI and Sky Enhancer is giving me the ability to really control the color. So that, my friends, before and after, is how I'm using Luminosity Mask to really fine tune and be precise with my color control. If you're not using Luminosity Mask, be sure and check them out, experiment, play. You can't break anything, but don't waste your time ignoring them, thinking that they're going to break something, because they're not. And honestly, I wasted years not using these things, and I really regret that I did, because photos I was publishing 10 years ago could have been so much better if I learned how to do this stuff. Hopefully that gives you some ideas about Luminosity Mask and in specific use around color. Thanks for watching, my friends. I appreciate it. I'll be back soon. You guys take care, and until next time, adios.